Well, welcome to a foggy edition of Don Olfen on Fishing. It's December 3rd and a very, very, very foggy day. I'm on the Wyoming side and just trying to see if there's any kokanee moving. Be happy with some pup lake trout, just out having a good time. Temperature is 25 degrees, but it's a lot colder than that on the water because of the fog. So stay tuned. Hopefully I'll be able to put a few fish in the boat and maybe find some kokanee and some pup lake trout, maybe even a few rainbows. Just a fun day to be out. The first fish on a very, very cold and foggy morning. Let's see what we've got here. It says, feels like a rainbow, to be honest with you, but I don't know. We'll have to see. Oh yeah. No, that's a little pup. I'm happy for every fish I get on a day like today. That'll eat just fine. If I can get that handled here pretty quick. Came out of about 40 feet of water. Well, there's fish number 2 this morning. Awfully cold, as I've been saying. Ooh, wow, this is a beautiful rainbow. Look at that baby. That's a gorgeous fish. Look at the colors on that thing. That is really something. That'd be a fine fish to eat if you were eating rainbows, but I'm not doing that right now. So this goes back in the water. Thank you very much for cooperating. There we go. That was a nice fish. Well, here's another, oh, beautiful, another beautiful rainbow. Wow. That was a dandy. I missed that one though. Well, I'm a little embarrassed. That last fish I brought in, I went back and looked at the footage and it was not a rainbow, it was a beautiful kokanee. So I knew we had rainbows, or I thought rather we had rainbows mixing with kokanee and lake trout all together, but that was a really nice kokanee that I had on, and I thought I'd lost it, so I turned off the camera and then turned it back on because I realized it was still on and it was already to the surface. So just a typical kokanee bite, but it really surprised me, and I really screwed up as far as getting that was in. I got another hit right there. So there are a few kokanee around, and hopefully, I'm hoping this doggone fog will lift, so I can get a little bit warmer and be able to ferret these things out. But the good news is there's still some kokanee around, and along with the rainbows, along with lake trout. So we got everything in the world right here. Just have to get them to bite. Got something on here coming up fast. Don't know what it is. Just a little rainbow. Actually a cutthroat. Cute little fish. Well, a kokanee and then a cutthroat. You know, once you find a few kokanee, it's really tough to leave. But most of the fish I'm catching right now, I've only got a couple of them on film, are cutthroats and rainbows. But there are some kokanee in there, and I've got one, like I said before, I hooked one and didn't realize it was a kokanee because it was such a light bite, and it came up, I thought it was off, so I basically stopped reeling and turned off the camera and the whole 9 yards, and then it turned out to be a nice kokanee. But But basically, I've been fishing the same little hump here probably for the last half hour, and I haven't gone about 5 minutes without catching a fish, but they're the wrong fish, except for that one kokanee. So I'm going to stay here with it for a little while because there are still fish moving through. Another fish. Doesn't feel like it's a, well, it's a nice rainbow. Back into the rainbow again. I'm dropping down right now to a few fish down there at 70 feet. We'll just see if they're interested. You can see my lure dropping down, and they're waiting for me, so hopefully I'll get another bite, and we'll see what we've got here. Moved spots just a little tiny bit, and still on the Wyoming side, but just looking for some kokanee, and all I've found so far was a mistaken kokanee and some rainbows and a bunch of pups. Now that is interesting because look, all those fish are gone, which tells me I just dropped down on I think on a school of kokanee. Well, we'll see what we have here. That was that same school that I just dropped down to, but it feels like a lake trout now. Doesn't necessarily feel like a kokanee. It's not rocketing to the surface, but you never know. No, that's a decent pup. There we go. There we go. It's a little bit better fish. Like the chartreuse. It's all I've got tied on right now, so they better like it. I don't have my other rods hooked up yet. I didn't think I'd need them, and I probably don't need them right now. But it's a little bit better pup. Still got more fish down there, so I'm going to drop down again and see if I can't wrangle up something else from down there. They're in 80 feet of water right now. They keep moving away from me as I drop down, but they seem to circle back around and come in, so I'm not really worried about it. I've got a little ice in my guide, so it takes a little bit longer for me to get down to the depth that they were. But I eventually get there. Real simple thing. You find them on the finder, drop down to them, wiggle around through them, and basically get a bite. So this is awful fun fishing, although I still haven't. I'd sure like to get a limit of kokanee. That hasn't happened yet. So, and here come back the fish. So there's a fish that just went over to see where I am. There they are. They're fighting over me now. They were just there. He's on it already. Oh, got off. Well, got another one here. Don't know what I'm looking at here. Feels pretty good. Looks like another rainbow. Which is all right. Nice rainbow. Try to get this one back in the water as soon as we can. There we go. Hey, there it goes. Another nice rainbow. Boy, they really want that. They really want that. I got him. I don't know what I have. This time, could be a pup, could be a. Oh wow, that's a better pup. There, he got off. That's okay. That was a nice pup. I've got plenty of them already, so it's not a big deal, but that was a nice one. Looks like a little guy. Looks like a little cutthroat. Well, I do not know how many I've caught today, but I bet you it's close to 30. It's been an interesting day. Cold for sure, but I've worked a lot of area, and I've found a lot of fish. You can look at that screen right there. Look, that's a typical time for me. So it's been a really fun day. Lots of cutthroat. Lots of cutthroat. They're biters too. Boy, they want it. You know, I've been catching some really nice cutthroat in the fall, particularly. And you got to start somewhere, and that's where they start. It's being stocked in here quite frequently now. You know, I've had an absolute ball today. I just want to let you know that you know, a lot of times when you comment on my videos and stuff like that, you ask, or you kind of say, well, do you always catch fish, or do you always catch big fish, or what happens? Well, when I was bass fishing and tournaments, I figured out early on that you have to spend, they call it time on the water. You've got to be on the water to learn what's going on with the fish that you're after. It doesn't matter what species. And so today, a day like today, where I've not seen another boat, not seen practically anything because it's been so foggy, but I've caught probably, I'm guessing, between 30 and 40 fish. Yes, they've been small. Yes, they've been a mixture of rainbows and cutthroats and pups and even a kokanee. And but that's how I learn what's going on. That's how I get a feel for the season and the time of year and all those other kinds of things. And you can't do it sitting in an armchair or even watching a video. You've got to get out and experiment. So this has actually been a very fun day, and I've not finished yet. I'm probably going to go try to catch a couple of nice big lake trout. I've still got my glide baits in the back of the boat, and I'm probably going to go do that for a little bit. But what a fun opportunity, and that's what I live for. I really enjoy this kind of fishing, experimenting, learning, failing, succeeding, all those things. Let me reel up real quick and show you exactly what I'm using. This is a Coltonator made by Christenson tackle, Lakeshore tackle. This is the half-ounce version, and all I've done is I think I've put on a little tiny bit larger hook than it comes with. Although don't quote me on that. But that's all I've been using with the chartreuse maggots, and it's been a you know, great producer. I'm using. I started this morning using a spin cast, but I had the nanofill on it, and the nanofill was not really good with the ice, and so I switched midstream to my old standby that I've been fishing lake trout with. You've seen me in the last couple of months, plus a good Kokanee rod. So anyway, that's what I'm using. It's a very simple process. I'm doing the same exact thing as I do when I jig for Kokanee, because that's kind of what I was after today, and that's that I just shake the rod tip, and then I lift up, and then shake the rod tip, lift up. That's as simple and as hard as it gets. Thanks for watching another edition of Don Alphin on Fishing. This has been a fun day. I've already explained that to you. Came out looking for Kokanee, found one Kokanee, screwed up the hook set, so I did not get it in the boat. But most of the fish I found today were pups, a lot of pups, big piles of them. Found some rainbows, found some cutthroat, and really with the fog, and now that it's finally clear, it's beautiful afternoon, and I just spent the day just learning what's going on with the fish after the spawn, lake trout spawn, and not having been on the water after these kind of fish for a month or two. So it was fun to see this. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's program. Please get out, and if you have an opportunity, catch some of these, specifically these small pups, and get them out of the lake for us. And they're great eating, and especially the size that they are. So anyway, thanks again for watching, and have a great day.